Prior to my parents splitting up, I think I was 10 when they split up. I lived kind of in the country, spent a lot of time playing outside. We moved into Austin, into the city, and I experienced a lot of new environments and new freedoms that I didn't have, new dangers I wasn't really aware of. At one point, the volunteer at the library, educating kids how to use computers as the internet was emerging. I mean, he groomed me, he was a predator, and I think I was 12 at the time. After that, seeking a lot of genuine relationship with people, I ended up being targeted because I was already harmed, an easy prey. I ended up being targeted by a 30-year-old when I was 14, and he forced drugs down my throat, literally, got me addicted to meth, ended up trafficking me. That went on for about 3 years. When I got sober at 17, I made some good friendships, but my first adult relationship from 18 to 22 ended up being abusive. He would throw it kind of back in my face, like no one could ever love you because of everything that you've been through. It made me feel like I couldn't leave, and it really messed up my ability to get out and get away, because I, in a lot of ways, thought that it was my fault, and just feel like the majority of my youth was taken. I had been in back-to-back abusive relationships and burnt all the bridges with my family. I had a 2-year-old. She had, been through a lot already. My family no longer had the resources to help me. I ended up in a tent for 6 months while I was on the waiting list, because the housing crisis is unreal. So probably child-proofing a tent. Yeah, that was my low point, I think. I was at the Salvation Army. I'd been there about a week when they told me that my risk, because of my abuser actively hunting for me at that point, they couldn't protect us. And they were able to do an exchange, a shelter exchange, and get us in at safe. I walked in the room and cried because there was a toilet that I didn't have to share with a bunch of people. There was a bathtub. I could bathe my 2-year-old instead of hosing her off in the park showers like we were having to do at the time. There were gates that kept me protected. It was the first time I really felt safe, and I think that rings true for a lot of other survivors that have lived a life of trauma. They had put full-size bottles of shampoo and conditioner on the counter and made the bed. And after sleeping in a tent for 6 months, I was just in awe. A couple of years after I left, I came back to work at SAFE, and the job that I do is incredible because I'm able to not only tell my story, but my painful, horrible, traumatic story has been built into a tool that I can use to help people. It's one of the only jobs at SAFE where you're allowed to say, hey, me too, I remember when I blah, 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 and it is okay and encouraged to say those things and to tell those stories and to help people so that they know that they're not alone and they know that someone's been there. It feels incredibly powerful, and I know that when the hard things were going on, you kind of get into this why is all of this happening to me mindset, and to see that there was a reason to have gone through it and survived it so you can guide other people, it really feels good. And when I reach out to another survivor and they're going through something and I'm able to share just a small piece of my story and see the dots connect, it's just a really beautiful experience. My story is a good thing now.